John 10, verse 1 to 16. Very truly I tell you, Pharisees, anyone who does not enter the sheep pen by the gate, but climbs in by some other way, is a thief and a robber. The one who enters by the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out all his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. But they will never follow a stranger. In fact, they will run away from him because they do not recognize a stranger's voice. Jesus used this figure of speech, but the Pharisees did not understand what he was telling them. Therefore, Jesus said again, Very truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who have come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep have not listened to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. They will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The hired hand is not the shepherd and does not own the sheep. So when he sees the wolf coming, he abandons the sheep and runs away. Then the wolf attacks the flock and scatters it. The man runs away because he is a hired hand and cares nothing for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me, just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father. And I will lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that are not of this sheep pen. I must bring them also. They will listen to my voice, and there will be one flock and one shepherd. Are there people in your life who you recognize over the phone before they even introduce themselves? What gives them away? Is it their tone, the name they call you, the sound of their cough? The better we know someone, the easier it becomes to recognize their voice. It's the same with God. Sometimes when he speaks, we question it. Was that him, or was it just my own thoughts? Hearing from God is something that is learned. The more time we spend with him, the more we'll recognize his voice. In today's passage, Jesus describes himself as a good shepherd. Middle Eastern shepherds were known for talking and singing to their sheep. They'd play a repeated tune on a flute so their sheep would have a consistent cue to follow. The sheep would become so familiar with the sound, they'd know it from a mile away. So when an impostor called, they wouldn't batter an eyelid. Similarly, the more time we spend with God, the more we'll recognize when he speaks. So what does it sound like, the voice of God? His voice is consistent. What he says in the Bible, what he has said to you in the past, these things are still true today. His voice is accepting. It's the voice that says to you, above all else, you are mine and I love you. His voice is challenging. It's the voice that has your best interests at heart, that says, if you'll allow me to, I'll help you change those things in your life that you know you need to change. And his voice is encouraging, in the true sense of the word, a voice that gives you courage to face the things you're facing. That's the voice of the Good Shepherd, always loving, kinder than we know, always with our best interests at heart. Do you know that voice? Have you heard it recently? Are you deliberately placing value on hearing from him? Are you slowing down enough to listen? Spend a few minutes writing a prayer to God about something that's on your mind. Then ask the Good Shepherd if there's anything he wants to say to you. Write down what he says.